Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Anne Marie. I am from Living Love Consciously. I hope you're doing really well. Per usual, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I've been quite busy with work and all that good stuff. Actually been quite overwhelmed with work, and that's the reason I didn't post last week is because I was burning the midnight oil at work, and so I just didn't have time to post because I needed to get a project done, yada 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 yada. And for those of you who are in the corporate world, you probably already know how it goes. Anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to talk about, and I'm still learning the art of storytelling, and I hope I get better at it for your sake and my sake too, and this channel's sake. Because we're trying to make moves. All right, so today I was listening to I went down the podcast rabbit hole. I don't know, is a podcast the same as a YouTube video, or is it different? Whereas a podcast, you just hear the voices of the people, but is a YouTube channel where they're just talking a podcast as well, where there's like no action. Anyway, curious. Let me know in the comment section. I probably could Google this myself, but hey, we're trying to interact, right? So I went down the rabbit hole of podcasting because I can't really watch anything. I try to sometimes, like I binge watch this TV show. I binge listened and watched some of this TV show called oh my god, it's on Amazon Prime. It is. Let me look it up quickly. Sorry. It is. I definitely binge watched it and I definitely enjoyed it. And I'm going to tell you why I enjoyed it. Let me see if I can find it on my previously watched. Oh my god, Cross. So it's a book. It's like I like detective books. Walter Mosley is one of my favorites. He wrote Devil in a Blue Dress, and I tried to read his novels, and womp womp, sorry Walter, if you ever see this, like you care. They were like, I just could not get, so when I read, I like excitement, I like the like, and be able to picture the characters, and I like the story to move along. I like the mystery, so I like mystery novels. Although I'm very particular about the stuff that I like. Like I don't read John Grisham. I like he's let's just be honest. He's the only detective author that I've read and enjoyed and can read over and over again. And I've read all his detective books that have not come out after the 2000s, I guess, because I kind of stopped reading because life just got the best of me, and I stopped reading. But like, I probably would like to see if he's written any newer books outside of his novels. Like I said before, I attempted to read his novels, but I just could not. I tried to read Gone Fishing. I tried Walter, but I just could not. Anyway, so I like detective like stories. So this detective show called Cross, I was not going to watch it. I'm not gonna lie, because I just don't have the time and there's so much going on. But I wasn't going to watch it only because it seemed like a DEI TV show. Like just a lot of black people, and it was just gonna be like character assassination is not the right word, but it was just gonna be typical characters. Like, it was just gonna be something I was not interested in. Like, I'm not a fan. I used to watch House of Pain only because there were a few actors in there that I enjoyed and I wanted to support them. But as far as like the whole genre, I don't align with that. I don't align with the light that Tyler Perry tends to picture black people in. Whereas even the Cosbys, like I love the Cosbys. I knew black people closer to the Cosbys than to the ones that Tyler Perry portrays. And they're always kind of like negative aspects of the black community, whereas I think the Cosby Show did positive aspects, but like went to the extreme and kind of alienated other people. So it's just finding a fine balance. And I'm not critiquing anybody in the sense that I mean, you know, like you grow up around what you grow up and then you write about that, right? So maybe he did grow up around that, but I did not. So I did not associate with Tyler Perry, although I did watch House of Pain, like, because it was like on TV and I was like in college and it was something to watch, and it was like usually on the free stations, but not because like I truly enjoyed it, but because, again, like I said, I was trying to support the actors. So the show Cross, I have not watched. Like, I used to watch TV shows like The Cosby Show. What else did I watch? I watched things from the 90s. Oh my God, I can't think of the names. Living Single. I watched the one where Dwayne and Whitney, I forgot what that was called, but I watched shows like that. And I haven't watched shows like that in a very long time, where there's like people of color and the cast is like full of people of color. I have not watched shows like that in a very long time. As I mentioned before, I keep repeating that. So when this show came across my feed on Amazon Prime, I was like, seriously? But it was a detective show. And the main character, I liked him because I think he was on a TV show with the sister twins, where they had, like, after Sister, I think they had a TV show on MTV, and I did watch that. And he played a football player who was an aspiring football player, and he was getting his like comeuppance in the NFL, and one of the twins was his like girlfriend. So I watched that for a little bit, and then it kind of got like kind of weird, and I was not interested in it, so I never knew how it ended. But I liked him as an actor, and so when I saw that he was the main character, I was like, okay, let me just see what he's up to. And I watched the show, and it was actually pretty good. It was pretty, and it was DEI, but it wasn't so blatant. Like, it was doing like the Black Lives Matter thing. Like, some of the characters were like super ghetto. Like the Black Lives Matter characters, they were like ghetto to the point where I'm like, And then some of the stuff, like the Black Lives Matter stuff, like defunding the police. I'm like, do people really mean that? I don't think so. Like, if you live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of crime, I don't think you want to defend the police. You may want to get police, maybe some psychological like ways to deal with the community that's more compassionate and maybe not as harsh. But I don't know, do police need to be that harsh? I know there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of people that get accidentally killed by the police. I don't know enough to like delve into that, but in the TV show they delve into all that. That's like basically the beginning of the TV show. There's this young black man that's shot down, or something happens to him, he disappears, and the Black Lives Matter people are protesting because the police are not doing anything, and it turns out he was murdered by a serial killer. But I like that. I think, again, I forgot to look up the book, but I think it was written, like, it was an interpretation of a book into a TV series, like a mini series. I don't think it's going to keep going. I think it's going to be a mini series. But anyway, so I like that the detective was believable as like a person of color, because anybody could be like someone who's like a really astute, smart detective in their area of expertise, right? I don't think you need to be like a white detective, a black detective, a Mexican. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. So the fact that a black guy played it was just like, okay, that seems pretty normal. Like, black people can be detectives and they can be astute and have like autistic like superpowers. So it was like cool, because he was like putting all these things together. And the serial killer guy, I know him from a TV show, but I can't remember his name, but he was really a really good, convincing serial killer. It's like when you see a character and you normally see them as like this benign, nice guy, and then they play like a serial killer, and you're like, oh, everybody has like different size and dimensions, right? So it was interesting to see that aspect of him. And I'm 10 minutes talking about this nonsense. Anyway, so I really enjoyed this TV show, and I'm not promoting them, but I'm just saying I really enjoyed it, and I'm pretty late to the game, but I think this is a show worth supporting and seeing like where it goes, just because I really enjoyed the characters. Like, they had a character who was like anti what, and then he was a person of color, and then there were like it was just like people of color, but they were like a mix, and it was just nice to, okay, I'm just gonna say it was nice to see a TV show with people of color. And I'm usually not that person, because I used to watch Hill Street Blue. I used to watch like a lot of what is it called, Law and Order with Olivia. I used to watch so many detective shows, because I really like detective shows and other types of genre, but like sci-fi detective shows are like my thing. So it was nice to see a detective show with people of color in it, where the people of color weren't just like side characters, but main characters. I have to say that it was just nice. It was nice, and I think they did a really nice job. And this is not someone who knows film, who knows acting. Like, some of the scenes were a little like, the sex scenes were like, why are we doing this? It's unnecessary. I just can't anymore. I guess I'm getting old, and it's just like, why? Like, some of the sex scenes were like, why? That's my only like downgrade to it. They just seemed like they were trying to capture the audience with these love because you want to like, there's a love story in every, like, all these TV shows, right? You want to capture the audience, because especially women, they like the love stories and stuff like that. And the sex scenes just seem unnecessary and extra to me. But this is not a review of this TV show, although it is becoming that, but it's not. The point of me bringing this TV show, other than the fact that I wanted to share something exciting with you, that I enjoyed this TV show because it was nice to see people of color on it that weren't side characters, it was just nice. It was nice. So now, like, sometimes I get when people are like, it's nice to see people that look like you and stuff, but when it's forced, I think that's the problem. Just naturally allow people's talent to come through, like audition people, and the person that wins, if they happen to be X amount of color, then fine, but just allow the talent to showcase what it can do, and it will naturally be diverse if you're not forcing it, and if you're not lying and cheating to get certain things into the media. Like, for example, I was really annoyed when people were mad that The Little Mermaid was black. It's a fictional story. Anybody can play it. Like, it doesn't matter. Or when, like, Captain America was black, people were getting mad. It's a fictional story. Sorry, my son is sleeping and I'm yelling. It does not matter. But, like, when you're doing a movie about, like, European queens or, like, that's very set in a specific time, I think it's kind of idiotic to put people of color in them when they weren't there. It just doesn't make sense. But for a fictional story, why not? Why not? Why not? It doesn't matter. It's a fictional story. It does not matter what the person looks like. As long as they can act and they're doing it justice, it's fine. I don't understand all these divisive things that we're doing to ourselves as a society. It's so sad, because it doesn't matter. What matters is, like, we take care of each other as humans, we support each other, and we try to grow as people. That's what matters. Like, I was listening to someone and they were talking about people that are like different religions. Like, are you gonna punish someone for being born Hindu? Are you gonna punish someone for being born in a Muslim country where being a Muslim is the majority? Like, I don't think God is like, I don't know what the whole scheme of things are, like what God's plan is, but as human beings, I think we have to look beyond all these things and see people for who they are. Are they kind? Are they good for humanity? Meaning, are they helping humanity grow in a way where we're taking care of each other, we're supporting each other, we're not hurting each other, or not? That's it. So, I don't know. I was born in a third world country where, till this day, like, there's prejudices, like people, point out, especially with this like influx of immigrants to the United States. Like, people from my country are coming here, and there was like a whole thing where in the news it was constantly negative aspects of this specific group of people, and it was breaking my heart because I'm like, not every person from this country is like this. You're purposefully pointing out the negative aspects to break people apart, to cause division. And it was very heartbreaking because I hear, like, we're supposed to be like in a spiritual awakening where people are supposed to be more compassionate, we're supposed to be kinder. And I don't know if I see it every day. So I was really hard at work and I was burning out, and I had my review, and I was told some things that were extremely negative, but I decided not to take it that way. I decided to say, you know what? It's not about me. Like, people will do things to you or say things to you and you think it's about you, but it's not. It's not. It's about an idea that they already have, and there is a framework that they're working on, and you just have to fit into that framework. So whatever they have to tell you to make you fit into that framework, they're going to do it. And that's just life. You just have people like that. And I'm hoping as a society we get past that. I'm hoping people grow out of that human instinct to preserve themselves and to do it in a way where they're putting others down. Like, I think it's natural for you to want to survive as a human being, right? The selfish aspect of us that wants to survive. But I don't know if it's necessary for the survival instinct to be at the cost of others. I'm still like processing that. Like, do we need to, like, for us to survive, do we need to like kill? Do we need to step on others? Do we need to belittle someone, make someone feel small for us to feel good about being a human, or to feel alive? I don't know what the motivation is, but I mean, when I was in high school and I was a teenager and I was like, my ego was bigger than life, or my ego was small, or I was just sad about not being big enough, not being recognized enough, or being made fun of, I took that out on other people. Like, if somebody made fun of me, I would make fun of someone weaker just to make myself feel like I'm not the one that's, like, I'm not the victim. Like, I can victimize someone else in a sense. And I remember, I think I've told this story, but I remember making this young woman feel so terrible because I made fun of her hair. I made fun of her tracks. They were like terrible. And I pointed that out and I made fun of her, and I could see the sadness in her. Okay, hi. So my son woke up and I had to go tend to him, so I don't know. But I left off with, so I was making fun of this young woman, and I felt it in my soul that this was not the right thing to do. And ever since then, I've done my best consciously not to make fun of people, to make myself feel better. Like, sometimes situations are funny and you crack a joke, but if we're all laughing together at the hilariousness of the situation, then it's cool, because we need to laugh. We need to make life as interesting and funny as possible, because we need to laugh. I think it's a natural part of life. So, but I don't do it at the expense or cost of someone else's feelings. So I work really hard not to do that. But not everyone is like that. Sometimes people are so hurt or come from so much trauma of not being recognized, of someone belittling them, that even as adults, they still do it. And the more power they get, the worse that it gets. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, my advice is just don't take it personally. As long as you know that you've done a great job and you do your best every day that you step in, don't worry about it. If it becomes unbearable, then you have to find another place to work, another place of employment, or another department. Move if you can, but don't take it personally. And people will judge you for that. People will think like you are like there's a strand of hair just like sticking out. People will think that you don't care about yourself, but here's the thing. I try to think now, my relationship with God is what's guiding me, not my relationship with humans. So if I am at this space and I need to be this person to let the storyline develop, then I will do my best to do that, as long as I'm not putting anyone in harm's way or myself in harm's way, as long as my intentions are of one that is being helpful towards humanity as well as myself, right? Because I also have to take care of me. I can't let people walk all over me. And looking outside, and you may be like, oh girl, you just letting, because that's what somebody told me, like, you're letting people walk all over you and but I know my role in the situation, and I'm seeing something play out, and if I can help someone be less of a jerk, if I can, by leading by example, then I am leaving my mark on that person for life. And maybe at some point they'll realize that they don't need to be nasty or mean to grow in the world, to be someone of value, of stature in the world, right? So that was my little story about making fun of people. And I digressed a lot. So I hope there is something worth you staying, if you stay the whole time, of listening to this. The second aspect of this is going down the YouTube rabbit hole of detective-like stories. So there's people on YouTube who just do detective stories, like they investigate and they tell us about stories. I did not know that there were so many Asian serial killers. That's how I'm hitting it. Yes. So I went down that YouTube rabbit hole of all the Asian serial killers. And I was like, oh, there are crazy people everywhere. Because my association with Asians is just people who are just like super hardworking and just in their books. But people are repressed in every culture, in every country. There are people who are repressed, there are people who are traumatized, and then they take that trauma out on the rest of us. Like the work situation is small because they're just like maybe psychologically traumatizing other people around them, but they're not murdering anybody. But like the first one I listened to was this young man whose sexuality was repressed because his parents were staunch Catholics and they did not believe in people being gay. And so this young man had repressed his sexuality, and he'd moved, still repressed it, and was taking advantage of straight men and not murdering them. He was taking advantage of straight men by drugging them and offering them like assistance, saying like he'll drug them or he'll wait to like, he'll go out. The premise of the story was, this was how he hunted. So he would go out like towards the end of like party time. Like, you know, it's like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. People are like drunk and they're kind of out of their wits. And then he would offer them assistance, like, oh my God, you're so drunk. Do you want me to call you a cab? Do you want to wait at my place while a cab comes for you? Do you want to like, you know, oh my God, you're so drunk. My place is right here. Do you just want to like calm down and chill? And he was not someone who seemed threatening. That was like the big consistent process. Like, he was not threatening. And the one young man, so he would like offer, which is weird. Like, you go to a stranger's house, but you're drunk, right? Your inhibitions are like lowered. You're not thinking straight. So it would make sense that you would take another drink, right? Because you're waiting for your cab and it's just like, one more, why not? Right? So he would offer these people a drink. It would have some kind of sedative in it that would completely knock them out. It's like, in America, I think we call it the date rape drug. Completely knock them out. And he would, you know what, them, assault them, and then record it. And I don't know if he posted it, but he had a bunch of them. And the one young man that he took was an athlete. And I think he was like bigger, so maybe his measurements were right. And he woke up in the middle of an act and he beat this young man almost to death. And he went to the police and told them, and the police did not believe him. So this brings back like so much in society where men can be victimized and we don't take it seriously. And I think that happens to a lot of young men more than we want to admit. Like, we always look at the female situation because it happens, but it happens to men too. And I think it's important to recognize that men can be victimized in that way. I mean, yeah, if you have a powerful enough drug and you can lure someone to a space where they feel safe and you give them that drug, yeah, you can pretty much do anything to anyone. Long story short, that's the rabbit hole I went to. And then my YouTube kept feeding me these things, and I was like, I can't listen to any more of this stuff. I don't want to. I want to go back under my rock where I don't know any of this stuff. I know it happens, but I don't need daily reminders of all the bad, crazy things that happen in the world. As a mother of a son, as a woman myself, where things, y'all don't know my story, but things have happened. You just don't need a daily reminder of how messed up the world is. There's some kind of war going on. There is ideas that extremely disturbed people are leading our countries. And we're just not talking about it. I'm in my bubble at work, doing my work thing, trying to burn the midnight oil. And that's it. So let me know in the comments, how are you dealing with all of this? My hair looks crazy by the end of this video. How are you dealing with all the shenanigans of the world? What do you think about these ideas that I've brought up to you? I think I've gone on so many tangents, but one of them being Cross, that TV show that I really enjoyed, detective genre, like TV shows and books. Yeah, the victimization of men in our society in more ways than one. And there's another rabbit hole I went down about white nationalists. And there are black nationalists too, if that's a thing. there's everybody. But anyway, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I hope this was a helpful video. I keep wanting to touch the side of my hair because this string of hair is just like all over the place. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, I hope I talked about something that was meaningful to you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are in the state of the world. And I'd love to hear from you. Bye.